Hi everyone. The purpose of this video is to give you a sense of what to expect from the design process in TWC 411/511. So, not every designer has the same process, but there are certain steps in the process of designing a document that help ensure that that document is going to communicate things better, that its purpose is going to be better achieved, and that it's just going to be a stronger design overall. So sketching and critiquing are two of the most important steps in that process. And that's why you've done some readings about sketching and critiquing and are practicing them for the class. So for every production assignment from here on out, so that's units 3 through 6, you're going to be doing some sketching and critiquing prior to turning in the completed assignment. So what this is going to look like is this. First, you will sketch at least 3 concepts for the design. I say at least 3, and I would certainly encourage you to sketch more than 3. I think more than 3 is a really good thing. The more you do, the better your concepts are going to be, and the more you're going to develop stronger concepts. The same applies to writing. Anybody who writes a lot, the more planning you put into your writing, the stronger your writing is going to be as a result of that. So I think it's important to get as many sketches as you can, but I require at least 3. And you're going to turn these in to me. So you're going to turn in these sketches. You'll just take a picture of them with your phone or scan them in and then send them to me through Blackboard. You'll do it by submitting through the assignment prompt in Blackboard. And I will get those sketches and I will give you feedback on them. Generally within 48 hours. I turn these around really fast so that you can have my feedback to continue on with the assignment. My feedback is going to be directed at the concepts behind your sketches. So you'll give me these sketches and then I will give you feedback saying things like, this particular concept is really strong, here are the good things about it, here's what you might want to think about when you're developing this concept. I might also say this concept is weak, but here's a way you could make it stronger, or some things you might want to do within this concept. So I'll give you directive feedback for things to do as you're developing your concepts. So after I've given you feedback, you will then develop what are called prototypes. And prototypes are essentially full drafts of your designs completed in the design programs that you are using. So in our case, the Adobe Creative Suite. And prototypes really should be drafts, meaning that the content is there, the layout is there, all the elements are there. It's just your kind of first attempt at this thing. They shouldn't be like half done or anything like that. They should be pretty much complete. They're just drafts. They're rough. They're maybe like you haven't had the time to refine things to be exactly what you want, and that's okay. That's kind of part of the prototyping process. But you'll develop 2 of these. So you'll take at least 3 sketches and then develop 2 of the ideas you've been working with into prototypes. Sometimes these prototypes are pretty similar to each other, so you'll have one prototype and then another prototype that's a variation on that one, and other times they're just wildly different ideas, and you're just prototyping 2 completely different approaches to the same document, and that can be really useful too. So for instance, take a look at the practice sketches and critiques document, the assignment, and those 2 documents that you're working with, the Miyagi Gymnastics Academy Olympics, those are 2 prototypes for the same assignment, just to give you a sense. They're pretty different, but they all have roughly the same content, so they have some similarities, just also some differences, and that's what prototypes are. So you'll turn in those prototypes to each other. You'll share them with each other via a discussion board that I'll set up, and from there you will give each other feedback on those prototypes. So you'll be set up in a little discussion group, and you'll give and receive feedback on prototypes. The idea behind this is to get more eyes than just mine on your designs, because it's important to have as many differing opinions and perspectives as possible on a design before it moves forward. So the more eyes we get on this, the better. And I encourage you to do this kind of informally with coworkers or friends or family or anybody in your life who you think might be able to give you some useful feedback on design. So you'll be learning about giving critiques and receiving critiques, and I hope that you can employ that in the critiques that you are giving, as well as the readings and those kinds of things. The language that we're using in the readings can really help you build out your critiques and give strong, productive criticism to the other designers. You need to kind of also approach this as an opportunity to make your stuff better. I don't want you to approach this as if everybody's going to be constantly tearing down your work, because that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to make things better. And the only way to make things better is to point out the ways that they can become better. So after you've received feedback from your classmates via the discussion board, at that point you will revise your document and pick one of them to move forward into the actual submission for that assignment. So it goes from 3 sketches at least to 2 prototypes to 1 document that you actually submit for that assignment. Again, at that point it is still not done. You still are going to be revising for the design portfolio at the end of the class, but for the time being that is kind of a done point with that particular assignment. You'll put it aside for a while and then come back to it at the end of the class. I hope that this process can ensure that your designs are better and more effective. And I really have consistently seen that by doing sketching, getting feedback on sketches, doing prototypes, getting feedback on prototypes, that your work really gets stronger and more refined than if you were just turning in a design blind without any other eyes being on it before that point. So this is a tried and true method, and I hope that you all find it to be productive for you and that you kind of carve out your own way of doing this and using this feedback in a useful way. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know.